So what I'm going to talk to you about now, over the next couple of minutes, is I'm going to go into the 5 major pitfalls that I see companies make specifically in digital marketing. And basically, this is not that I have this great insight. It's just because I get to see lots of situations. But as I said, even if you're not into digital marketing, I think hopefully you can apply them to wherever you're at. All right, let's dive in. The first pitfall that we see commonly is your digital marketing spend does not align with your company goals. Now let me start by, again, I'm going to tell a lot of stories here, so let me actually start by telling a story. We were talking to a company that is a large provider of mobile offices and storage containers. These are those temporary offices like you see at construction sites, and these are those big metal boxes that sometimes, like right before the holidays, you see them in the parking lot of retailers where they shove all their holiday items, or again, you see them at construction sites. And this is a big major company, I mean a $100 million more sort of revenue company. And we sat down with their senior team and said, okay, help us understand what are your overall goals? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to grow? And they said, look, there's 2 things. Our primary focus is we want to acquire more customers that buy and rent these big mobile offices. And then as a secondary goal, we want to go after commercial customers that want to buy or rent those storage containers. Okay, fairly clear. So, I mean, after talking with them a little bit more, we kind of had a hypothesis that based upon their articulated strategy, that they'd be spending a majority of their marketing budget on acquiring mobile office customers. Kind of makes sense. Maybe a little less. I mean, that could be 65, 25. A little bit less on storage containers. Got to throw some money into brand because you got to make sure your brand's out there. But then these pods, and by the way, one of the things I didn't say, they're not interested in is those residential moving containers. They don't want to work with consumers. They're all business to business. And so you would think that their goal is they wouldn't spend any money going after consumers. Well, when we dove into their marketing, we found something that was quite alarming when we shared these findings. They were spending some on acquiring those mobile office customers, but not nearly as much as we thought they were or would. They were underspending on storage containers, but the big takeaway is almost a third of their marketing spend was going to customers that the senior management team said that we don't want any more of. Now that's a lot, a third of their budget? Well, the question is how could something like that even happen? Well, it's simply like this. It's because the marketing team, their success was measured on an overly simplistic metric. They were only being measured on the number of leads that they sent over to the sales team that they generated with their marketing effort, and what was the cost per lead. So when we talked to the marketing team, they said, yeah, we need to acquire 2,500 leads per month at a cost of $40 a lead. We've got a budget of $100,000 a month. As long as we meet this, we're doing a good job. And so inside of their bubble, they would look at their metrics. Okay, well, last month, we got 2,486 leads. We're almost on goal. We're doing a good job. High five. And we looked at our spend. Hey, we're about 3%. Okay, that's not awful. I mean, you're not naming conference rooms after you, but still, you're pretty excited here. And our cost per lead, wow, we're doing a great job. But yet a third of their marketing budget was going towards things that was not aligned with the goals of the company. And so what happened is, or my suggestion to you in terms of if you want to avoid this sort of pitfall, first off, ensure that the overall company goals are clearly articulated to your marketing team. What happened is with this is that the senior team would have the senior staff meeting or the huddle, whatever you want to call it, or their planning process, where they would set strategy. And then 2 layers down inside of the organization, that got filtered down into something that was not exactly coherent. So make sure that those goals that are set at the high level are fully communicated throughout the organization. And that your marketing spend or whatever spend is aligned with those goals. The other thing is that in this case, the marketing goals that were set for the marketing team, as I said, were not specific enough and aligned with the overall strategy. You need to be more specific than just 2,500 leads at $40 a lead. And then finally, I always recommend incorporating some sort of a feedback loop between the sales team that actually has to work these leads and the marketing team that generates them.